An excerpt from Doing What You Love, The Birthing of an Obstetrician. The first night of my medical student OBGYN rotation, I bunked down in a concrete-walled hospital basement call room, large enough for a stiff cot, a tiny table with a lamp, a phone, and a clock. I clicked off the lamp and quickly fell into dense sleep. Ring! I knocked the phone over, swinging to answer it at 3:30 a.m. "The doctor wants you to come to the delivery room right now," said the nurse. Banging my knuckles, I felt for the light switch while stepping onto the cold, hard floor. Pulled on my shoes, stumbled into the bright hallway, still finding my balance, and clambered up 2 flights of back stairs. I shuffled over to the deep stainless steel prep sink outside the delivery room and looked through a horizontal, wire-embedded window into that steel-trimmed, cold-scrubbed, tiled room. The doctor stood at the end of the surgical table, with a mother covered with surgical green cotton drapes, lay on her back, with her legs up, separated and bent at the knees atop cushion supports. I looked down to push the foot control for the faucet, and then back up, just in time to witness the first of thousands of miracles that would enrich my spirit. On that table, in that austere room, from out of an impossibly small opening, a new life emerged, real, live, within reach. The rest of the universe slipped into a muffled background, like the outside world to one on a train, and a warm, soft light came aglow in my soul. I had witnessed wonder. I finished scrubbing, pushed open the smooth, cool door with my back, and entered, as the nurses tended to the wailing newborn. I leaned over the warming hood and was somehow surprised at the wholeness of the baby. A complete new soul was in the house. I turned my head and saw the parents, encompassed in their own tender orb, evoking at once exhaustion, joy, and wonder, and serenity. The next day I was in the delivery room during the labor. I stood in awed silence beside the doctor. The uterine muscle drove the baby's head deep into the mother's vagina, causing its lips to separate. At first just a sliver for a peek at the baby's wet, dark hair. Then lower, until we could see a lemon-sized area. I knew an entire baby was attached, but how would it possibly fit? The doctor looked at me. "Ken, why don't you deliver this baby?" "What did he just say?" I was too shocked to answer, but I was about to learn a medical school adage. See one, do one, teach one. The determined young mom pushed and strained with each contraction. Her husband's eyes widened above his contorted face and fixated on the doctor, and on me, as if desperately seeking assurance that this was all normal and it might soon end. Gradually, the perineum distended paper thin, taking on the shape of the underlying head. The doctor placed his hands over mine there and reminded me to support and gently lift to relieve the posterior pressure. To the immense relief of all, the head finally emerged, looking toward the floor, and then spontaneously rotating 90 degrees, which normally happens as the shoulders are forced to corkscrew as they are pushed through the birth canal. And there the head remained, extending from the vagina with no further progress. As trained, I put a hand on each side of the head and then pulled downward to deliver the baby's upper shoulder. The neck stretched, but the shoulder and body seemed stuck as if they were buried in sand. The doctor replaced his hands over mine and applied the startling amount of pressure required. My God, it felt like the head could pull right off. But centimeter by centimeter, the upper shoulder emerged. Then we pulled up, with much less traction for delivery of the posterior shoulder. Suddenly, whoosh, gangway! The baby shot out the rest of the way, along with a bucket full of warm, clear amniotic fluid. I was not ready for any of this. The rapid expulsion, the baby's powerful wiggles, or the greasy slipperiness and wildly flailing limbs. The baby would have dropped to the floor, except the doctor was prepared for this, including my own startled ineptitude. He secured the baby's head, neck, and shoulders with his right hand and slid the body into a secure cradle formed between his left forearm and body. A beautiful girl, he announced to the enamored parents. I'd been too discombobulated to even notice the baby's gender. self-contained aura of the room transformed from tension to repose, as if a huge wave had crested, splashed, dissolved, and was gently and safely receding, leaving us soaked in something precious and primal.